Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal and welcome back to another weight loss video. Hope you enjoy this one. Let's dive right in. My dad is so obsessed with my weight and it's negatively affecting me. Background: I, 19 male, have been overweight for about 9 years and I've tried to start losing some. He, 50 male, has been obsessed with my weight for a while, but particularly in the last year. He asks me about my weight every time I see him. He'll also make comments about food. If I ever visit and eat something with sugar, I'll get a, "Don't you know how long that takes to burn off on the treadmill?" We were just out shopping for jeans, and he starts berating me about how I've not lost enough weight, and that me going to the gym with a PT for the last 5 months has been a total waste of time, and that I haven't achieved anything. Apparently, I'm guaranteed to get a heart attack or cancer in 10 years. And then he starts rambling about what I eat. He thinks I need to be at the gym more. I'm already doing exercise every day, even on non-gym days, and wants me to be doing exercise 2 to 3 times a day. He also seems to think my PT's plan is completely wrong, and he knows better. Plus, he doesn't think I'm trying. According to him, I've only lost a little bit of weight at the stomach and absolutely nothing else. I haven't lost as much as maybe I should have. I lost 8 kilograms in 4 months, which was okay, but the last month or so has been chaotic with university, coming down with 2 colds, and also some mental health problems. I definitely have OCD and possibly depression, but not 100% sure. So I've hit a bit of a plateau and readily admit that. I'm generally trying as much as he thinks I'm not, but it has been a difficult journey, particularly since food is one of the few pleasurable things for me, and I've had mental health issues which caused me to get stressed about not meeting results, which led me to under-eating before weigh-in so I wouldn't get a bad result and anger him. I decided to just go back to my apartment, and now I'm really upset. He's totally crapped on any confidence I'd built up. I want to get back to it and do better. How can I put that behind me and lose more weight? As someone who had to deal with this growing up, your dad is likely projecting his own insecurities on you. My father did these same things to me growing up as a chubby kid, and I ended up in the hospital after almost slipping into a coma from my ED. I went from slightly overweight as a child to extremely underweight in the matter of less than a year, and he was still calling me fat. I was constantly losing weight, and every weekend he'd decide whether I had gained or lost weight based on him inspecting me while I walked without me knowing. One time I had lost an extremely unhealthy amount of weight in 1 week, and he said, "You look like you've gained weight since the last time I saw you. Please don't let your father do to you what my father did to me. I have countless health problems now from my ED at only 21. It will never be good enough for him despite how much you lose. What really matters is you taking steps forward towards a healthy life, and that is whatever you set your goal as. It's your body, and you're the one who lives in it." I only realized recently that my father himself has always had an ED, and he projected it onto me. Typically, when parents are unhappy with their weight, they'll somehow project it onto their children for some reason. What helped me was distancing myself from my dad, no longer shopping or going out to eat with him, and working on myself and my own health. I now see him 1 to 2 times a year, and along with exercising and eating right for my own goals, I've been the happiest I've ever been. Really sorry this is happening to you, original poster. I was in a similar situation with someone who I otherwise love dearly, and things didn't get better until after I started setting some really clear boundaries. First, I just tried sharing how I felt, and that didn't work, because it was their responsibility to tell me the truth about myself, as if I wasn't already aware, as if I wasn't already trying on my own. So, I just had to tell them that anytime they mentioned my weight or weight loss, I would get up and leave the room. No conversation, no fighting, I'd just silently leave. I only actually had to do it once before they got the picture. Is that maybe something you can do? It's not easy, and the other person has to be at least a little reasonable before it will work, because otherwise you're just cutting them out entirely. I approached it kind of like I was training a puppy. Like, I love you, puppy, but if you try to bite me, I'm out. Gotta be consistent. Your dad seems to be of the mentality where if I nag them enough about the issue, it will motivate them more, which we all know is total BS. 8 kilograms in 4 months is great, and it's a healthy way of dropping. Stick with your PT and keep doing what you're doing. Every time your dad decides to talk crap about your weight, pop up with some fun random fact like, "Hey, doesn't Stephen King look like a who?" and then just walk away from him when he's temporarily stunned. If you do it enough times with dumb statements, maybe he'll stop bringing it up. Keep it up. There's always going to be someone like your dad who thinks they're helping, but they're really just being an idiot. My heart goes out to you, original poster. The beauty of being an adult is choosing who you allow in your life and how often. If your relationship with your dad isn't adding to your life and you only see each other out of feelings of obligation, maybe you need some distance. No one ever said it was mandatory that we like our family members as people. Your problem isn't your weight, it's your dad. I mean, sure, if you were completely away from your dad, you might decide that you're unhappy with being overweight and choose to exercise and lose weight. But right now, you're trying to solve the problem of your dad being a butthole by changing yourself, and that just isn't going to work. You could change yourself into a completely different person, and your dad would still be a butthole because his behavior has little to do with you. If you can get therapy through your college, then I'd start there. Dealing with this stuff is better if you have support and a neutral person who can help you figure things out. I'm sorry, and I hope you have a good friend or sibling to talk to, someone who is in your corner. I don't know your living situation, so if you're living with your father and or are financially dependent upon him, get a plan to get out. There are probably people and resources you can use through school. If you are not financially dependent on him at all, you have more control than you think when he starts up with his criticisms and everything else. You do not need to give that nonsense an audience. Again, I want to stress, this approach is risky if you are dependent financially upon him in any way, which is why it is critical to have outside support, whether it's friends or family, and I highly recommend a good therapist who will be in your corner. When he starts up, leave the room, end the phone call, and do this every time. Be consistent, be boring, be well, and take care. I totally understand. After my parents divorced, my mom remarried and dropped me off at my dad's doorstep. I was a total bookworm when I was younger, and as I slowly began to withdraw from playing with other kids and staying in my room reading all the time, I also started to hit puberty. I put on weight. My dad thinks the worst thing a woman can be is overweight, and wanted to be sure I knew I was disgusting if I was putting on weight. I was in the 4th grade. I was put on a diet and had a chart hanging in my room where my dad would make me weigh in front of him, and he'd make me update the chart. If he caught me with candy, I'd get in serious trouble and grounded. He called me names, hoping that it would encourage me to lose weight, and threw food at me at the dinner table, and called me a fat pig if I asked for seconds. In looking back at the photos, I wasn't overweight at all. He idolized the Audrey Hepburn type of female, willowy and petite, and I'm the opposite. I'm curvy and always have been, even at a size 6. Regardless, I developed an enduring shame that has shadowed every poor decision I've ever made. I'm sorry you're having to deal with that. Just because someone is a parent doesn't mean they are good at it or do it right. It would be very reasonable for you to say or send a text to the effect of, "My weight and health is not a topic of discussion. I'm an adult and I'm handling it. If you bring it up, our visit will end and I will leave." Then you have to enforce it and leave. And if that doesn't work, and the comments continue despite that boundary, and there are other people in your household you want to see, you can make plans outside of the house with them and reduce contact with him until he gets his act together. Your dad is not the arbiter of truth. He's being rude and diminishing your success. I've lost about that amount in the same amount of time, and my husband is super proud of me, and my body does look different. You're doing awesome. And that brings us to the end of the video, Narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please tap subscribe to join our awesome community, the Narwhals, and for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. And here's our featured Narwhal of the day. I feel like I look the same, but I see this comparison today, and I'm like, wow,